Good morning, ultimate hustlers and digital empire builders. It is that time for the Cortez Hustle Show. And today we're continuing our series on traffic secrets. How do you get more eyeballs in front of the things that you have to offer, be it your blog, your videos, your website, whatever it is that you're doing. At the end of the day, you got to get eyeballs in front of it for them to make an educated decision on whether or not they're going to follow, buy from you, engage with your content. So this is part 2 of a multi-part series. I can't wait to get into it today. And we're going to help you get more traffic today and some very practical, with some practical steps that you can take. So do me a huge favor, comment in the chat where you're from, drop the name of your business and all your brand, smash that show button, ladies and gentlemen, and let's kick it this morning.
Yo, what's up, ultimate hustlers, and welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. Our goal is to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the world's greatest hustlers build amazing brands, scale their businesses to incredible heights, sell more, make more, and create mass movements that impact the world. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned vet or you're sitting on the sidelines with aspirations to one day unleash your inner hustle. This show will provide the insights into how pure grit, determination, and hard work has morphed into some of the most iconic brands and personalities and how they are moving the culture forward. You'll get a mix of solo shows featuring yours truly, as well as interviews and content from other hustlers that I either know personally or I've learned from or whose grind I've come to know and respect. And you'll also get exclusive recordings from our membership called Monetize My Life Academy, which you can check out at monetizemylifeacademy.com. That's a program where we go live every month with some of the best hustlers on the planet, sharing best practices on how we all can explode our brands with advanced branding and marketing tactics, business development strategies, and financial game planning necessary to build the empires we all desire. Again, that's at monetizemylifeacademy.com. If you like today's episode, chances are the hustlers you're connected to will like it as well. Share it with those in your network. And when you do, use hashtag Cortez Hustle so I can see you and hopefully give you a shout out and share you in my stories. So check out today's episode and make sure you subscribe to the feed on your favorite podcasting networks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, coming to you live and direct from the Social Media Consistency Challenge Studios right here in St. Louis, Missouri. What is the Social Media Consistency Challenge? It is me challenging you to be more consistent on social media, ladies and gentlemen. All you got to do is text Daily Hustle to 314-730-3999. Again, text Daily Hustle to 314-730-3999. And what is that going to get you? That's going to get you in the challenge. And I'm going to challenge you every single day for the next 21 days to post something meaningful on your social media. In fact, I'm going to give you something meaningful to post. I'm going to give you the caption. I'm going to give you the hashtags. I'm even going to give you a short video training on how to do it. And if you do it for 21 days straight, it will become a habit. And trust me when I tell you this, the people who are the most consistent on social media are having the most success. So text Daily Hustle to 314-730-3999. Today, we're continuing our series. For the next couple Mondays, we're talking about traffic. How do you get more traffic? How do you get more eyeballs in front of your website, your offers, your funnels, your videos, your content on social? There's an art and there's a science to getting more traffic. And at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, business is all about two things, right? Having people to talk to and knowing what to say. You've got to become great at finding and figuring out how and where people are who are interested in what you have to offer, and then getting that offer in front of them. So we're going to talk all about that today. But before we get into that, a couple quick announcements, ladies and gentlemen. The rest of this week is shaping up as follows. In honor of Mental Health Awareness Month, we're going to be talking about reducing stress, On Wednesdays, how do you get stress? How do you relieve your stress as an entrepreneur? And then on Thursday, we've got Black Girl Magic with Denise Wiggins. This lady has created multiple seven-figure businesses, and she's going to come and share with us how she was able to do that. And we get to ask her all kinds of questions. So that's going to be on Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. So you do not want to miss that. And again, the Daily Hustle, the Social Media Consistency Challenge. Make sure you text Daily Hustle to 314-730-3999. Y'all know how we do on the Cortez Hustle Show. Comment where you are. Drop the name of your business and or your brand. I see my man Mark Presswood is always in the building watching us live this morning. So we're talking all about traffic, but we start every episode of the Cortez Hustle Show with a quote of the day. And as I consume social media for myself personally, I'm always tuned into things that are positive, that are moving me in the right direction. And it doesn't matter where it comes from. If I hear a message that resonates with me and that's continuing to push me forward, then I tune in. And yesterday I heard Redman from the duo of Meth and Red say, energy ain't made to be seen or heard. It's meant to be felt. And he was talking about the fact that we've gotten to a place in our society where we don't even speak to each other anymore when we see each other in the streets, right? We at least used to do this, especially in the Black community. You see someone and y'all make eye contact, you at least throw your head back a little bit, right? We don't even do that. And the reason he quoted this about energy, he said, because a lot of times we don't speak, we don't acknowledge each other because we're afraid that the other person isn't going to give us that same energy back. Ladies and gentlemen, that ain't got nothing to do with you, right? I want you to understand something, that energy is contagious. And sometimes you may not get the energy back from that person, but you might be the energy that starts that person's day. Like sometimes when someone speaks to me or someone hits me with a level of energy and I'm not quite ready for it, it makes me think, and I literally will change my state. It's like, man, I should have said, what's up? Man, that dude had a whole lot of energy. That sis had a whole lot of energy. And it changes my energy, right? And then the next person I encounter, I bring to them a higher level of energy. And whether they are down or up doesn't matter. Whether they reciprocate that or back doesn't matter. We have to start looking at how the things that we do are good for us. Me giving out positive energy is good for me, whether or not that person that I'm giving that energy to is going to give it back or not. So I thought about that today or yesterday when I heard Redman say that. It's like, man, don't worry about whether or not that energy is coming back to you, right? Trust and believe if that energy is genuine, whether they acknowledge it or not, they're going to feel it. If you are approaching people with genuine energy, whether they acknowledge it or not, they are going to feel it, because that's what energy is. You can't help it. You can't stop it. And maybe you don't get the benefits from that person of giving them good energy, but they take your good energy, it changes their state later in the day, and they give someone else good energy. But here's what I do know. The law of reciprocity says whenever I give out good energy, the law of sowing and reaping says whenever I put good out into the atmosphere, it is going to come back to me, pressed down, shaken together, running over. And it's going to come back more, multiply more than what I put out. So always keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that it doesn't take anything for you to say what's up, bring energy into every room that you come into, and be that light. Sometimes people are in dark places in their lives, and you could be the one to help get them out of that funk. At least that's how I see it. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the quote of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you again by the Social Media Consistency Challenge. Yes, I want to push this down your throat, because being consistent on social can change your entire business. Changing your business can change your financial outlook and your financial family tree, and that can change your entire life, not only yours, but for generations to come. So make sure you text Daily Hustle to 314-730-3999 to get on that list, and let me send you some content every day that you can share with your audience to bring and draw people in to what it is that you are doing. So we're talking about traffic, right? You guys know I'm a big fan of Russell Brunson and all of his stuff. Even though I launched my own software company, and some people could see us as competition, because my software is a funnel builder, similar to what he's building over there at ClickFunnels, but I'm aiming mine at a different audience and demographic. But if you know anything about Russell, he's all about building businesses in a way that you do not have to take on investment capital. And I am so in agreement with that, right? I am not. And because I'm in agreement with it, doesn't mean that I'm knocking you if you decide to build a business and you take on investors and you get, a couple $1 million, and you give up 20% of your company, 30% of your company. I'm not knocking you if that's the way that you decide to build your business. What I'm saying is, I believe that you can build a business without the need of access to capital in that way, and you keep 100% equity of your business and or your brand. So let me drop the link to Traffic Secrets in here, because you guys can get a free copy if you click on this link. So all right, I think that is the correct link. You guys can get a free copy, and all you have to do is pay for shipping. But this book is transforming my entire life. It's transforming the way that I see things, right? It's transforming the way that I understand how to move forward and building my business. And I want to shout out Mark. Mark is always here every single morning. So he did put the name of his business and brand in MYECA Enterprises, real estate investing across the U.S., looking to help others get a piece of the real estate investing pie. And that is the true American pie, right? You want to get a piece of the American pie, it is real estate. Own you a piece of the American land, ladies and gentlemen. So as I started reading Traffic Secrets, and I've read all three of the books in the trilogy. I have .com Secrets here too. And then on my shelf, I also have Expert Secrets. And really what Russell and his team are doing is they're helping entrepreneurs, and especially the solopreneur market. Those of us who are not in position to hire big teams, just those of us who understand that we have a gift, talent, special ability. Those of us who have a message that is transformative. Those of us who've been through things in life, and we want to take the things that we've been through and help other people get through them and build a business at the same time. Ladies and gentlemen, write this down in your notes. You can make $1 and a difference at the same time. I don't know about you, but in our community, we've been taught and trained to believe that if you are trying to make a difference, you're not supposed to get paid for that. And if you're trying to make $1, you got to be some sort of jerk, some sort of narcissistic person if you're chasing money, right? But everybody who's trying to make a difference has to go to someone who's been making $1 and ask for a check. Because if you're trying to make a difference, I was watching Shack Life last night. Some of you guys know that I'm big on watching and following successful people. So I'm watching Shack Life last night. And if you don't know anything about Shaquille O'Neal, he has all of these different projects, and now he's got a project for the last couple years that is basically a reality show, and they just follow him around doing some of these projects and following him, when it comes to his life, right? If he had not made a boatload of money playing basketball, if he did not fail his first marketing class, and they told him that a big man can never be a pitch man for products and services, if he had never decided to, instead of signing with big time shoe companies, built his own shoe around his own brand, if he didn't have the idea to say, hey, if Michael Jordan is the jump man, I'm going to be the dunk man, right? And build out something amazing for himself, he wouldn't have the check to give to people who are making a difference, right? He literally, I don't know how much he spent, but he redid an entire group home in a local community that he just moved into, right? I watched him go into Walmart, get a flatbed dolly, and put 25 TVs on that thing, on top of rehabbing the entire facility. And then he goes and he hangs all these TVs up all over the place. And I'm saying that everybody who is building wealth is not a jerk. And I need people who are really in the space of trying to make a difference on this planet, a difference in the lives of other people. I need you to relieve yourself of the feeling of guilt that says, if I'm trying to make money, I can't be, that's a conflict with me trying to make a difference. No, man, that is not, that couldn't be further from the truth, right? It couldn't be further from the truth. You need money and financing and funding to be able to afford to make the impact, the difference on a large scale. It's like, do not let people, right, who are not doing anything with their lives tell you that if you're trying to make a difference, you can't charge for your services. Because that's what we get a lot of times as we are moving out through fulfilling the calling on our lives, right? And I think entrepreneurship is a calling. I think we have missions that we've been created for to fulfill. So when you understand that you can make $1 and make a difference at the same time, that's what Russell Brunson's whole program is all about. How do you marry technology with the message to get it in front of as many people as possible so you can make the impact in the lives of more people that will ultimately allow you to make the impact in the life of your family? Because y'all know, just like I know, the more people you serve, right, the more problems you solve, the more money you make. So if you can get your products, your services, your message in front of more and more people, then you have the potential to make more money. And as you are serving other people, you are ultimately serving yourself. You're serving your family. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what it's all about. So we're going to talk to you today about how do you lay the foundation for getting more traffic to your offers. And ladies and gentlemen, it starts with identifying this one thing and getting critically clear on this one thing. And I'm going to put a link to an article that you guys can reference to help you with this. But before we get into any of that, it's 7:20. So that means it is time for 1 minute motivation. If you're new to the Cortez Hustle Show, 1 minute motivation is where we play a short motivational clip, usually 60 to 90 seconds or so. And if you're able to type live, I ask you to comment a takeaway or two. I'm going to give you a takeaway or two myself, and then we'll get into the 9 things you need to know about identifying a target audience. But before we do that, let's get into 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show.
People leave you because they're not joined to you. And if they're not joined to you, you get super glue and you can't make them stay. Let them go. And it doesn't mean that Oprah was a bad person. It just means that Oprah's part in the story is over. And you got to know when people's part in your story is over so that you don't keep trying to raise the dead. You got to know when it's dead. David, when your boy is dead, wash your face and have another baby. You got to know when it's over.
When you set the president of your life that you're not going to lower your standards, when you set the president of your life that you're not going to be used, that you're not going to be taken advantage of, people ain't going to give you that. But some of us, we've allowed to be a freaking floor mat, and we wonder why people continue to walk all over us. But Trent, you don't understand. I've been with this situation for 30 years. Trent, you don't understand. Listen, you need to learn how to love yourself. You need to learn how to love yourself, and you need to get to a point, as my brother said, Jay, right? We all are enough, but you have to get to a point where you have had enough. And some of us, we haven't had enough. Some of us, we're so afraid to move on with our life because we haven't tied our identities around that thing. Listen, disrespect cannot be tolerated in your life anymore.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this whole series of 1 minute motivation, I think we got one more that we're going to get into on Thursday. But this whole series is about the power of association and how critical it is for you to understand that people in your life for a reason. Sometimes that is for a season, sometimes it is for a lifetime. But when they decide to walk out of your life, you got to let them. When people decide to walk out of your life, you have to let them. And do not take it personal. Sometimes it's not even about you. Sometimes it's about them. Sometimes, believe it or not, people sometimes can wake up and just overnight get hit with their purpose. And just all of a sudden they realize what's at stake for them. And they see something for themselves. And all of a sudden, you're no longer part of that equation in that instant in their life. But like the old saying goes, if you love something, let it go. And if it's meant to come back, then it'll be back. But what sometimes we do is we get stuck trying to force our way and trying to cling on to people and things that no longer serve us. And you got to be careful about that. What if your blessings are tied to that person leaving? What if the only reason you don't have everything that you desire is because the Creator don't want that person to benefit from any of that stuff? And when that person leaves out of your life, I hope y'all getting this, right? And I'm not saying you have to be a jerk about it. I'm not saying you have to cuss folks out and go and let the air out of their tires or bust their windows, right? I'm not saying no, it don't got to be any of that. But if a person doesn't want to be in your life and you fight to keep them there, that is one of the top ways that you can find yourself in an abusive situation. Because if you're willing to do anything to keep somebody in your life, then they will ultimately treat you any old kind of way because they know you're going to put up with it, right? Mark says that happened this weekend with an ask, and the intention was set, and the results showed up. I'm telling you, man, you've got to understand that there is power in association, and I get that we fall in love with people. I get that we partner with people, right? I'm talking about in business and life and other relationships. And I get that sometimes we build our lives around the lives of other people. And when those other people make a shift, those other people go a different direction, then we feel lost. And it could be scary. But if someone wants to leave out of your life, you've got to let that happen so that you can pick up the pieces and move on, right? Yep. Have your own confidence and faith and the belief that you're going to be all right, that you can make it without them, and the whole 9 yards. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. Again, brought to you by the Social Media Consistency Challenge. If you have not already done so, text the key phrase Daily Hustle to 314-730-3999. I'm going to help you be more consistent on social, including giving you an infographic to post every day, the captions and the hashtags, as well as a short video that will help explain to you how you can get better with social media. We do that for 21 days straight, because you do anything for 21 days, it becomes a habit. You got to get in the habit of being consistent on social, especially if you don't have a big advertising budget to grow your business. Then the second best way, if you don't have money to spend on ads to get people's attention, is to be consistent. So today we're talking traffic secrets. How do you get more eyeballs in front of what you're doing to grow your business and or your brand? Or maybe you're not growing a business, maybe you're building a nonprofit. You still got a message that in order for you to be successful, it needs to get out in front of hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands and maybe even hundreds of thousands of people, for you to find the people that it's going to resonate with, and those people are going to become invested in the growth of what it is that you are doing. So in this book, Russell makes it very clear, right? This is called Traffic Secrets. If you don't have a copy, I put a link in the show notes in the description, where you can get a free copy, and it is a hardback. It's a hardback, right? For I think the shipping cost is $8 or $9 or something like that. You pay shipping and they'll send this to you for free, or you go out on Amazon and get it. I think it's $24.95 on Amazon or something like that. But he talked about the 3 types of traffic, right? There's 3 types of traffic. There's traffic that you earn, there is traffic that you control, and then there is traffic that you own. Today, we're going to talk about the first one, traffic that you earn. And the number one thing that you absolutely must do to earn traffic is you have to get clear on your target. That's the number one thing. In order to earn traffic, I told you at the very beginning, business is about 2 things: having people to talk to and knowing what to say. Well, when we break down having people to talk to, you have to identify who it is that you're serving. And then you have to find those people and attract those people to you. So I have this article on databox.com, how to identify your target audience for your website. Now, it says for your website, but this is identifying a target audience for anything that you're doing. So in my case, for this podcast, for my social media, for my websites, for my funnels, for my products and my services, right? In order for you to earn traffic, you have to first identify who has the problem that you solve, right? Number one, Start with your current customers. I'm going to give you 9 ways to help you identify your target market, because when you can identify who it is that you serve and you get crystal clear on the people who have a problem that your product, service, or your message is aimed at, then you can earn that traffic, right? Earning traffic is key, especially when you're starting out. You don't have a big advertising budget. You need people to talk to, but you can't talk to everybody. So my favorite analogy, and most of you guys can get this, my favorite analogy when it comes to targeting the right people is, if I'm a farmer and I have grass-fed beef, right? That grass-fed beef is hormone-free. That grass-fed beef, they roam on pastures. They're free range pastures. It's free range. That grass-fed beef is well cared for. That grass-fed beef is humanely put down. It is then packaged with the utmost care. It is flash frozen or whatever, right? I love my product. But if I take all of that information that I just shared with you and I'm sharing it in a vegan community, how much grass-fed beef am I going to sell promoting to a vegan community? Not much at all. All right. Now, there are some vegans in that community who know other people who eat clean that are not vegan, and they might refer me to those people. But if I'm aiming all of my messaging at the vegan community and I sell grass-fed beef, they don't care that it's hormone-free. They don't care that my cattle get to roam from pasture to pasture. They don't care that they're not put under stress. They don't care that they're not given antibiotics 24 hours a day. You've got to identify who has the problem that your product, service, or message is aimed at. One of the ways that you do that is you start with your current customers. Before you can identify your target web audience, you need to understand your target customer. We began with a deep dive with the sales and marketing team to understand what their client base has looked like in the past and what their aspirational client base looks like now. So if you already have customers, then you can look at the profiles of the customers that you have right now. In fact, you can go and talk to those customers, right? And get a better understanding of who they are, how their mind works. If you do not have any customers and you're starting out, then you got to ask yourself some questions about those customers, right? You have to go ask yourself some questions about those customers. Once you look at those profiles, then you can take tactical measures to attract and connect with that audience online, right? You can attract and connect with that audience online. Look at the characteristics of your best existing customers and organize that list into at least one profile based on shared characteristics. Right? Your existing customers, hey, why are they your existing customers? Ask them what made them buy from you. Right? And if you don't have your own customer base, this is where you got to understand too that collaboration is better than competition. So if you're very new, one of the things that you can do if you don't have your own customers to profile, you can go look at someone who is in the same industry as you that sells something similar to you and look at their customer profile. Like, we all have social media. I can go and look at the types of people that Russell Brunson is attracting because I want to do something similar. I can go look at the people who he brings up on his stages. And then I can go follow those people, and I can look at the people who are following them and say, oh, okay, here's the types of people that Russell has attracted. Here's the type of leaders that Russell has to develop. Here's the type of people that are following those leaders. Oh, okay, I get it. Here's the messaging that I need to incorporate in my content to attract people of a like-mindedness, right? This is the strategy, right? That's exactly right, Mark. This is something that people tend to miss, right? People tend to miss this. You are talking to the person that you were 5 to 10 years ago. I teach everybody that if you want to get a clear understanding of your avatar, look in the mirror. Look at where you were just 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Look at the things that you were doing that gave you joy 5 years ago that you are still doing today. Look at the types of products that you buy that you were buying 5 years ago and you're still buying those today, right? So understand you gotta get with who your target avatar is, right? This is a very detailed article, so you guys definitely should check it out. Number 2, think benefits, not features. Think benefits, not features. If you're trying to figure out your target avatar, then what are the benefits of the products and the services that you offer? Not the features. What is the outcome? When someone consumes this podcast, it's all about entrepreneurship. So I think about what is the outcome? A better understanding of the core marketing systems that they need to grow their business, a better understanding of the mindset that they need in order to grow their business, a better understanding of the tools and the resources that they need to grow their business, a better understanding of the type of person they need to become by looking at the examples of the entrepreneurs that I interview on this show. I think about the benefits of the products and the services that I'm offering. The best way to work out which consumers to target is to identify who has a need or interest in your product or website, and then begin narrowing down from there. Start by pinpointing all of the different features and qualities of your offering, and then have a think about who would benefit from these features. Who benefits the most from what you have to offer? And then when you can identify those people who benefit the most, then you ask yourself, what pain are they in based on not having that solution, right? Remember, the person that can communicate the problem the best is by default assumed to have the best solution. It doesn't mean that you do have the best solution, but if I can talk about and speak to and empathize with this pain better than anybody else, people tend to believe that Cortez must have an answer to this. He knows the problem all too well, and chances are he's either solved it for himself or he's working on a solution, so I probably need to listen to him. Number 3, collect the demographic data on your target market, right? There's some demographic data that you need to understand. To better understand the customer, I would suggest marketers updraw up their demographic portrait. This process is a bit like creating a character in the video game Sims. At the beginning, you have a digital person with a zero background, but gradually he has a house, works, has hobbies, and friends. It is important to make the portrait as detailed as possible so that the abstract client turns into an old acquaintance. You absolutely have to have a clear picture of this person. Like literally, my customer avatar is me, right? It's me. My avatar is me. Everybody that I've sold a product to or followed me, I couldn't tell you how many people who listen to the podcast or youth basketball coaches or trainers or participate in youth sports, right? Or youth mentorship programs. I couldn't tell you the amount of people who follow me. Either they are married with children or the spouse is married to a guy that shares my same characteristics, right? You will mirror in a lot of cases the person that you're trying to attract is you. The person that you used to be or the person that you're trying to. I hope y'all didn't miss that. Start with the person that you used to be or the person that you are trying to become. And what are the things that you need as you are aspiring to become? Maybe those are the products and services that you have. What were the things that you needed to know 5 years ago that got you to this point today? That's how you start to attract. So you gather the data, right? Right? Collect data on user behavior, locations, demographics, all of those things, and you build out this picture of this person. And everything that you see, even in this book, he's talked about somebody going to sell the owner of a beauty supply chain. And the guy went and sat down and he was trying to get them to buy one of his products. And I can't remember the name of their avatar, but just say the name was Karen. And as he was trying to sell them on why they need to order his products and services, they was like, no, Karen wouldn't like that. He's like, okay. He showed them another product. And he was like, this is one of our most popular products. And they was like, Karen wouldn't like that either. And he got so frustrated. He was like, well, hell, why don't y'all just let me talk directly to Karen? He didn't understand that Karen was their avatar. And everything that they do, they run through the lens and the filter of would our avatar, would our customer, would Karen like this? That's how detailed they had their avatar. They know what their avatar like. If you are not obsessed with your customers, if you are not obsessed with your avatar, and I'm not talking about just like them a little bit, like, no, you have to become obsessed, right? That's how you win. That's how you attract more and more of them to you, right? Number 4, sending out customer surveys is another good way to figure out who your avatars really are. One of the best methods is running surveys to find out who the leads who convert to customers actually are. After all, your target audience should be the people who find your service of value, even if you're currently targeting a different group with your website messaging. Literally, sometimes you are talking to the wrong people, but those people have referred the right people to you. You need to know that. You need to know that. One of the things that we're going to talk about next week is we're going to talk about your platforms and things of that nature and publishing content and why that's so important. But I see people all the time who are building their businesses on their personal profiles on these social media platforms. And I'm not saying that I would never talk about business on my personal profile, because all of my profiles are business, because I'm business 100% of the time. I don't separate the two. But here's the difference. You could be building your business on a personal profile, but you know what you don't get on your personal profile? Analytics. I know people who built Facebook pages personally. So if for those of you who don't know, that Facebook is one of my big platforms. I love Facebook, and I just built my platform on Facebook. And I remember seeing someone with a Facebook profile, personal profile, that had 5,000 friends and over 20,000 followers. Because after you get beyond so many friends on Facebook, people can't be your friend, but they can follow you. Now, because we're talking business, and this was someone who was building a business on social media this way, you know what they couldn't get access to? Is the analytics that showed them who these people were. Like, I know based on my main Facebook profile page that I trend really well for some reason with people in New York. My biggest amount of followers on my financial health mentor page, the biggest group of followers from that page are New Yorkers. Because I get the analytics. It tells me that. I'm in St. Louis, Missouri. I've always been in St. Louis, Missouri. Now, funny thing is, when my mom left the South, my mom was born in a little town called Nettleton, Mississippi. When she left the South, her mom went to St. Louis, and she actually went to New York. So I actually lived in New York for a little bit, and it's funny that when I look at the data, it's like my biggest group of followers are from the Northeast. Who'd have thunk it? But when you're building on your personal profile, you don't get that data. You don't get how many men to women, what's the ratio, what's the age breakdown, right? You don't get their interests. And you certainly can't get to target those people with paid advertisement and things of that nature. So sending customer surveys is another great way to help you gather this data. Number 5, look for trends and online customer feedback, right? You want first to identify what is the purpose of your product or service. Really take some time on researching and finding the benefits that your product or service provides. Then you will identify who exactly is buying or in need of your particular services. Then you can go to popular online forums like Reddit or Quora to see who exactly is asking questions or interested in the industry niche. This will help you pinpoint what age group, gender, and industry that your target audience might be in. Another good place to go do some research, Amazon. Another good place to go do some research is Amazon. You go to Amazon and say I was selling one of my financial products, right? I would go on Amazon and I would look up financial education. And I would then get a list of the top selling financial education based products, right? Not only do I get a list of the top selling financial based products, I get the names of the authors and the creators of those products. Those authors and creators are also linked to their social media. So I can go find out at the snap of a finger who are the top selling producers of the types of content that I'm selling on Amazon. And then I can go follow all of those people across their social media platforms. I can also read the reviews that people are leaving on their products. The good reviews, but more especially the negative reviews. People will say things like, I love that this product has this, and this. But the negative reviews, people will say, I hate that this product didn't do this, or that. 10 people said that this top selling product had some holes in it. Can I create a product that has all of the same things and fill those holes at the same time? Right? We're talking about how to identify your target, how to do research so that you can earn traffic. There's 3 types of traffic: traffic that you earn, traffic that you control, and traffic that you own. When you don't have a marketing budget, you don't have thousands of dollars to spend on advertising, you better learn how to earn some traffic, right? This is my journey. This is how I started. Listen, I still don't have a huge marketing budget, but I learned how to be consistent on social media to earn traffic every day and then convert the traffic that I earn into traffic that I own, right? This is my literal journey. When I started back in, must have been 2007, 2008, something like that. I typed in on the internet for the first time how to make money online, and I started going down all of these rabbit holes. Listen, I have 5 sons, raised a cousin and a nephew. So 7 boys came through my household, right? And a wife and 2 dogs. I didn't have no extra money to be spending on anything. I had drive, I had ambition, and I knew that I was willing to take time. Everybody put that in the comments, take time. What does that mean, Cortez? I used to say I would make time to learn about this stuff, but you don't make time. Time is already made. You take time. I knew I was willing to take time away from sleeping to learn online marketing. I knew I was willing to take time from leisure activities to learn online marketing. I was willing to take time from my lunch break on my job to learn online marketing. I worked a job. I was blessed enough to work a job. Hey, Marlon, I see you. I was blessed enough to work a job where I can have my earbuds on while I was working. Now, I could have very easily been listening to Outkast, one of my favorite hip hop groups of all times, right? I could have been listening to some UGK, some 8-Ball MJG, some Scarface, some Tupac. No, y'all know what I was listening to? I was listening to stuff that was growing me as an individual. I was listening to stuff that was growing me as a marketer. I was listening to stuff that was helping me develop skill sets, right? Because I didn't have the money. I took free plus massive action. Matter of fact, I got a series coming out around that, right? Free plus massive action. So what people would teach for free on YouTube, I would go and learn their free stuff. I didn't have the money to buy their course. I didn't have the money to go see them at their mastermind events, but they would teach certain things for free. I would take that free that I learned, and then I would take massive action with the free information. And ultimately, the massive action plus the free led to revenue that I was able to then go and reinvest into their paid stuff. And I grew even faster, right? So look for trends online. Follow some of the top influencers and look at what they talk about in their content, right? If they're attracting, this is what I do. I go on YouTube, I go on Instagram, and I see people that I like and I admire, who I follow, who've got great content. And I'm looking at, oh, they're doing videos on this. And here's something else, and I'm going to help you guys with, and then I'm just going to give you these other 4 before we get out of here. Here's something else that you have to understand too. Like, I can get caught up and see one of my favorite online marketers, Ping Jung, right? He's out of the ClickFunnels camp too. Ping Jung is one of my favorite online marketers. And I can go and see Ping Jung do a video on traffic, right? And then I could let that intimidate me and say, hey, Ping has 100,000 YouTube subscribers. He's already done a video on traffic, so I'm not going to do one. Here's what you got to understand. There are people who would listen to my training on traffic versus Ping Jung's training on traffic because they think Ping is too far ahead of them. I'm a little bit closer to them, right? I'm 1 step ahead. Ping is 1,000 steps ahead. I can't really relate to someone being 1,000 steps ahead, but here's this guy who's just 1 or 2 steps ahead. I'm going to listen to what he says about traffic. If you're taking notes, remember this: people pay for 3 things. Number 1, they pay for transformation. If your product is not transforming them, they're not paying for it. So you need to make sure that you communicate the transformation that your product brings. But how do they get transformation? They are also paying for your presence and your perspective. This is why there's no such thing as competition, because there's only one Cortez Hustle. There's a gazillion business podcasts out there. There's only one Cortez Hustle. My perspective and my presence can never be duplicated. And now, how do I, from my presence and my perspective, create transformation and put a value on that? So 4 more things, and I'm just going to give you guys a list. I'll put the link in the comments so that you guys can go check this out for yourself, because it is very in deep. Number 6, go niche. Go niche, right? I'm niching down to serving solopreneurs, right? There's 3 areas. There's health, there's wealth, and there is relationships, right? Within those 3 areas, then you have to go niche down. So I'm in the wealth. Then what is it? And when it comes to wealth, I'm in business. Okay. And it comes to business, I'm in online entrepreneurship, right? I'm steady niching down. Okay. In online entrepreneurship, digital marketing, and digital marketing, systems and automation, right? Systems and automations for who? Solopreneurs who don't have money to hire a team, right? You got to niche down. Number 7, research your competitors. We talked about that a little bit. Number 8, create a market propositioning map, right? Now I got to go and read that myself. A good way to identify a target market for your website is to use a market analysis method known as marketing map. This is a simple diagram that allows you to identify gaps in the market or industry your product or service solves. Number 9, resist the urge to overcomplicate it. Resist the urge to overcomplicate it. Hey, you have a problem as a solopreneur. You don't have the means to hire a team. Let me help you automate some of your processes that's going to streamline your activities, and you're going to become more efficient, therefore increase your margins, and then maybe develop what you need in terms of the ability to hire people to help you in the future. So that's going to do it for us today, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, come back next Monday. If you like this on traffic, this is traffic that you earn. Next Monday, we're going to be talking about traffic that you control, right? And we're going to give it all the way to you. So I appreciate you guys as always. Until I talk to you next time, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. More importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.